whatever, today it's kind of an open chat, so we can start talking about whatever you guys want. Please let me know if the sound is okay. I'm actually streaming from my phone, and I have a mic, an external mic in there, so it should be okay. What's up, what's up, what's up? Okay, so one of the stuff that I wanted to talk, it was the Resistance trailer. I did record a reaction, but I didn't have time to edit because this entire weekend I was working on a project, you know, so I really couldn't really, like, Jeremy, you're backwards, the video's backward. Jeremy taught you well. I'm sorry, it's because I am doing the live directly from my phone, and it has to be kind of mirrored because otherwise I won't be able to see myself. I still don't have a webcam, so that's why. I'm sorry. But anyways, so who is there? Who did you guys see the Resistance trailer, and what do you really think about it? I mean, a lot of when I first saw it, I was shocked how bad it was. And I thought, this looks like it's made for a 3-year-old or something like that. And it was just like kind of weird. It looked ugly. And you know, you would think that Disney, with the money that they have, they would come up with something better, especially after the situation Star Wars is right now, right? So yes, I think that trailer is really not very good. Some of you guys are, oh, you haven't seen it? Brayden haven't seen yet? Reverse video, yes, I know, I'm sorry. That I'm streaming directly from my phone. And because I think my phone has a better quality camera than if I do it directly from my Mac. Because, so yes, unfortunately it's reversed. I'm sorry guys, but yeah, I don't have a webcam yet. I'm sorry. Okay, so Captain Stute said, didn't look like Star Wars. Yes, I agree. And that's the biggest problem with Star Wars right now, right? All of the stuff that they're making out there, it just doesn't even look like Star Wars, right? So I was very shocked on that trailer. I was like, what is going on? I mean, seriously, this does not, I mean, and seeing all of this stuff, it's kind of hard to, you know, have hope for the future of Star Wars. And I'm the kind of person, I love being positive. I love giving people chances, you know, because I think all of us makes mistakes, but I don't know if Star Wars has any kind of hope right now. You know, I would have to wait and see. Okay. Paul Taylor, what's your favorite anime? Okay, I don't think I have a favorite one because I'm sorry, I don't really watch a lot of anime. I have watched some, but I don't know. Tell me the ones that you like and I'll tell you if I've seen them. I'm more of like a movie person, you know, and TV shows. Hi Mike, welcome everybody. Okay, you should have started the Geeks and Gamers stream wearing the Chewie mask to see what Jeremy would say. I know, right? I really love that mask. It actually, it was very funny. When I first bought it, it's just because it has a, I think I bought it when I saw the viral video of that lady that was laughing at it. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Doesn't take much to make me happy. That Chewie mask makes me really happy. Horacio Del Rey said, I found your channel 2 days ago and I was looking for information about the new Terminator movie. What about John Connor? I know. So talking about John Connor, so far there is no mention of John Connor, and that's the sad part of it, right? I'm very worried about this movie, even though I haven't lost hope. because we know, I really think that James Cameron is a very smart person. To be honest with you guys, a while ago I did see an interview with James Cameron and Tim, I forgot the last name of the director, the guy that is directing the new Terminator. They were both kind of talking about a lot of stuff to do with Terminator. And one of the things that they said was that they were kind of saying something about The Last Jedi and how that kind was not very good. And they saying, oh, this is not going to be anything like The Last Jedi. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly what they said. So they're very aware of what happened to The Last Jedi. So that's because I heard them saying something like that. It doesn't seem that they liked the movie. I think that they're not going to do the same way. You know, even though that picture, it's kind of horrible. And I was like, what are they going to do here? Is it like, I mean, what's up with John Connor? Obviously, yes, I got worried, but I'm not going to be saying anything until I actually see the movie. Because I think then we'll have a better idea of what's going on. Or at least when we have a trailer. You know, right now it's way too soon in the production. And I know that on that video I was complaining that there was no picture of Arnold and I wanted to see Arnold. I'm a huge Arnold fan. However, I have forgotten that he's been on like recovering from a surgery. So perhaps that's why he wasn't around and that's why there was no picture of him. And now he's down in Budapest filming. So I have hopes because, you know, Terminator is just so great. Just last night it was on, but the first Terminator 1, and I was like, oh man, why can movies nowadays be as good as it used to, you know? These movies were not even the time that I was born, but like, I watch these films, they you know, they make some sense, you know? They make sense. Okay, let's see what you guys saying here. But yeah, I'm a huge Terminator fan. Love the series. I even like the other films. I don't love them. I don't think that the stories were great. Like Salvation, Genesis. I think that they had good, some good action scenes. But as far as the story, I think it kind of died a little bit. For me, Terminator 1 and 2 is kind of what is canon, you know. And that's why I think I'm so excited for this one, because this is supposed to be exactly after the second one. But obviously, yes, so far, who asked me about John Connor? Yeah, there is no information on John Connor yet. There is no actor released that has been cast. So unfortunately, I can't really give you the answer because we still don't know what is the deal with John Connor. That's one of my main questions. I want to know, what are they going to do with John Connor? I hope they don't go the same Luke Skywalker route, because it's just not going to go well, you know. Daffy Struck said, Ivan is our last hope, and I can't wait to see Ivan's cut. I think that's going to be really cool. I've been following his channel for a while. Actually, I've been following his channel when he started. And he was talking about this dream of, you know, re-editing the film. So yes, I can't wait to see that. Hi everybody that is coming in right now. Nicholas said, are all girls in Brazil as hot as you? If so, I may need to move there. Well, thanks. Well, Brazilians, I don't know. I mean, I guess the good thing about Brazil, people are, I don't know. I think Brazilians in general are very beautiful people. We're very welcome. We're very happy people. Brazilians are not like people that like war, you know. We're very welcoming. We love, I don't know, we are happy people. I just subbed today. Thanks so much, all of you guys that subscribed. Thanks everyone that is coming from Geeks and Gamer channel. You're very welcome here, and you know, very happy to have all of you. Cool shirt. Thank you. Alex said, we don't have John Connor, but we do have Justin Bieber. Yeah, we don't know what exactly role that girl's gonna play yet, right? So it's way too soon yet. But yes, that photo does not give me any hope. That photo looks actually cheap, like a cheap TV show. I was like, oh man, really? like does not look like anything coming from a Terminator. You know, if you go back and look at the release photos from Terminator 2, they were way more interesting than this last one. Pekin said, I saw that you made it on Geeks and Gamers today. I love crossovers. Cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Today was a good, fun day. I really enjoyed talking about Star Wars. I really enjoyed talking, you know, entertainment. I love talking about movies. I love talking about, you know, I don't know, all of this. Lately, I have to be honest, I think talking about Star Wars, it's no longer fun, you know. It's kind of like, I have to tell you, so a couple of days, when was it? 2 days ago, I was watching The Revenge of the Sith was on TV, and I was watching and I was like, oh man, I know that a lot of people complain of the prequels, but that's Star Wars, you know, like I really love what it used to be. And nowadays, talking about Star Wars is not even longer fun, you know, really no longer fun. What else are you guys saying here? Pinchid Way said, V, I hate you. Okay, I'm sorry. And Nicholas Glenn said, I love you. See, that's great. And someone said, Jeremy is becoming the godfather of Star Wars fandom menace. Yes, that's true. I think it's really cool that Jeremy is always like reaching out to other people, you know, and try to lift up other channels, because that's what YouTube is so great. And I was talking to him before we went live that I think the greatest thing that YouTube provides is that another platform where we can actually talk to everyone and we can like put our frustrations out there, because again, you can't really trust fully in the media, especially nowadays. You know, they're always lying about stuff, you know, and it's very hard to find honesty, and that's what I like. I like honest opinions, and that's why I think YouTube is great, because a lot of people here, they have no reason to be lying, right? I have no reason to be lying, okay? So yes, I think that Jeremy is really great what he does, really great that he reaches out to other people and shout out like smaller channels, you know, try to bring the community forward. Yes, that's great. And X-Winger said, it's really the personality that makes a woman beautiful. And I agree, and I think that goes both ways as well. I think that goes for men as well. You know, I think a lot of guys, sometimes, you know, their personality is what is way more attractive, you know. You want someone that's what I call partnership. Nicholas Glenn, thanks for the super chat. What are your top 3 movies of all time? Okay, movies of all time is hard to tell because I do love a lot of movies in all different genres. But let's say one of my favorite movies of all time is, one of them is The Empire Strikes Back. I think that movie is awesome. It's incredible, and it's probably my favorite Star Wars film. So that's definitely one of my top 10 favorite films of all time. I also, let me think, there's so many. Well, another movie that I love very much, and I think it's definitely there on my top favorite movies of all time, is The Gladiator. You know, that was a movie directed by Ridley Scott. That's a movie where featuring Russell Crowe. Have you guys seen it? I think a lot of people seen it. It was a big blockbuster, and the reason why is because I'm going to school for cinematography, and I think that the cinematography in that movie is incredible, and it's just awesome. I think that's a beautiful film. Let me see about another film that is on my other top 3. Let me think. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with a action film, probably Terminator 2. You know, it's very hard because I have a bunch of films that I really love. But yeah, I love Terminator 2 because I thought that, first of all, I thought everything about Terminator is very creative, great visual effects. I love seeing Sarah Connor. You know, she was such a like an inspiration for me. I loved, because the great thing about Sarah Connor, in my opinion, is that when you first see her, she's nothing like she is on the second film. You know, and that's where you can totally see the progression and where a character starts and where a character ends. Obviously, now we're still gonna see what's gonna happen, but yeah, probably those are the top three. But there's so many good movies. There's a lot of drama, like really like dramatic films that I love. Fantasy, like The Lord of the Rings, are really one of my favorites. I think we talked about that on the movie with when we were talking about movies on the live stream at Geeks and Gamers. Yeah. Yes. What else you guys want to know? How do you got into Star Wars? Tim Raven is asking. Okay, I don't really have like one story of how I got, because ever since I remember being, I've always knew Star Wars because of my dad. My dad's a huge Star Wars fan. He went to see the originals on the movie theaters, and we always watched at home together. And he took me to see we saw together the prequels, you know, and he was like, oh, I still love the originals better, but we had great time together watching the prequels, you know. So I got into Star Wars, I'd say, because of my dad. And then I also have two brothers, and we all love Star Wars. And I've always been into like, I've always had, I mean, I didn't really have, I played mostly with my brothers. I don't, for some reason, I loved playing with them. And we always have like, we always played Star Wars. We always played like, you know, pretend we were the characters, you know, we have the Millennium Falcon and all these things. So yes, I got into Star Wars because of my dad. And I got in movies, you know, my interest in movies because my dad loved movies as well, you know. But yeah, and that's why I also went to film school, and that's why I want to work in films. I want to make films, you know, I want to create entertainment. That's my future goals in life. So hopefully it will happen. What else are you guys saying here? Well, we have a lot of comments here, guys. Sorry, bear with me. Albert, I can't really pronounce her name. Movie said, I directed and wrote Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. In your top 100? Yes, I actually think, you know, I love 80s. Well, that came out in the 80s, right? If I'm not mistaken. I did like that movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I used to see a lot. One of my favorite Van Damme film is actually the one, there is a ring. What is that movie called? My God, let me search real quick and I'll tell you right now. Van Damme. It's one of my favorite, but I don't know how you call it in English. Bloodsport. Just found it. Bloodsport is one of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme films. But I think Cyborg is really great as well. Yeah, it's definitely on my top 100, perhaps. I haven't thought about the top 100 films yet. But yeah, maybe it would make it. Yeah. The Shawshank Redemption for me, oh yes, that's an incredible film. Beautiful, beautiful, great character development, great cinematography. As a whole, that's a great film. I agree with you. Awesome storytelling. I love that film very much. Okay, what else are we saying here? What comic book character would you like to see made into a feature film? What comic book character would I like to made into a feature film? I'm not very big in comic books. So let me think. I don't know one specific one because I'm not a huge comic book. I mean, I know a lot of. To be honest with you, what I really would like to see made well would be a Justice League film. Because the last one, I think it was such a disaster. There are some good parts, you know what I loved about the Justice League? The fact that they brought in like the, kind of like the themes from the original themes. Like you can hear the Batman original theme, you can hear the Superman original theme. And I also like some action scenes. But as a whole, I didn't really like the movie. I think that it seemed that the movie was rushed, and you could totally tell that there was two directors involved. And we all know that there's a tragedy in Zack Snyder's life, so he couldn't finish the film for that reason. And then there's that terrible CGI on Superman's face. So I think if I could pick one that I would like to see a proper Justice League film, because I've always dreamed of a Justice League film. However, it shouldn't be rushed. Please don't rush these things. Take your time and actually do these things well. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Jedi Cowboy saying fantasy, adventure genre, Pan's Labyrinth, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's an incredible. I love Indiana Jones. I have all of them. I have all of the Indiana. I'm looking at them right now. All the movies. I'm a big Spielberg fan. I'm wearing a Back to the Future t-shirt. Empire Strikes Back. Incredible films, yes. How about, I was trying to do a video very soon. I wanted to making a video of the best video games adaptations. However, I'm not very big in video games, so it was kind of a limited list for me. But what video games movie adaptations have you guys seen that you really enjoyed? I think one of my favorites is Mortal Kombat, the first one. Even though it's kind of like a B movie, I really thought that movie was a lot of fun. And I also liked a lot Resident Evil, the original. Even though we know Alice, if you guys played Resident Evil, is not really the original from... not really an original character from the game, right? That game, I love jump scares. And that movie really... Playing Resident Evil terrified me. That's the kind of thing I could never do alone. Team Raven said, I love the Matrix first movie. Yes, I think the first one was great. I like all of them as a whole. I think the first one is probably the best one, because the first one is the one that is the surprise, And if you don't know that, guys, Matrix kind of really revolutionized the visual effects that we have nowadays. So that was a very important film for movies in general. So yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I think Matrix is pretty cool. What else are you guys saying? Sarah Connor characters really did evolve. Yes, I agree with you. That's why she's such a great character. It's nothing like they do nowadays, right? She's no Rey. That's how Rey should have been written. But no. Albert said, I had one of my films just get released on Blu-ray called Blast. Oh, I would like to check that out. Called Blast. Let me write it down. What genre is that? I love movies, so yeah. Whatever movies you guys think I should watch, please say it here and I would glad check it out. Hey Viv, watched the entire Clone Wars series. What are your thoughts on it? I loved the Clone Wars. Loved it. I was super upset when I found out it was canceled when Disney bought Star Wars. And you can check on my channel over there. I have a reaction to the trailer. Now that we know they're coming back with 12 episodes, I cannot wait because I love the characters, I love Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan. I just think that those things are so precious. And I really hated that they just canceled it like that. And I'm very happy that now we will have, 12 episodes. Hopefully they will be great. So I thought that the Clone Wars, the first season, probably the first and second season, they were kind of slow. But then the third one and fourth one, they got really good, And right now it's available on Netflix. So if you guys have a Netflix, you should definitely check it out. Definitely recommend it. Check out my reaction to the trailer. You see me geeking out. I got goosebumps, I really... That's why the whole situation of Star Wars, it actually makes me so sad, because it's something that's been so precious to me. I love the movies. I love the characters, I love talking about it, okay? And just do it right, guys? Just do it. That's all the fans are asking for. Do it right. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the comments here. However, it's a lot, so bear with me. Bloodsport, yes, Bloodsport is one of my favorite Van Damme. Am I saying his name right? Van Damme movie. I'm actually looking high up because I'm looking at the screen of the computer to read the comments. So that's why it looks like I'm looking off camera. And I'm streaming from my phone. That's why the image is reversed. Sorry about that. Okay. Frank G saying, do you think Disney Lucas told Kelly Tran to finally speak up just to gain sympathy from SJW's cause? I did address a little bit this on my video. I think that it's very possible that companies indeed tell their actors to act a certain way, to do certain things that will benefit them. For sure, I agree. Yes, I believe so. At the same time, I also believe that she did suffer bullying, because a lot of people on the internet does. All the time, you know. I was talking to Jeremy earlier today before I went on the live stream, that sometimes I have terrible comments. One of them that was very weird was like, oh, you are a woman, so you have no right to talk about Star Wars. As if, like, I was like, what kind of mentality is that, you know? But not only that, like, sometimes it's people just calling you names for no reason, or saying things that just doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, so I definitely believe that she suffered some sort of bullying. I don't disregard that, and I definitely feel sympathy for people that are bullying, because it's very easy for us, being outside of the situation, to just be judgmental. That's human nature. We automatically judge, whatever with her, she has the best job ever, she's this and that. However, that's where I feel like sometimes we lose our humanity. We forget that these are humans, and you know, these celebrities, they could have a great life, but at the same time, a lot of them are really messed up, you know. That's why a lot of them commit suicide. That's why a lot of them fall into drugs and things like that. So I think that the bullying itself is not right, and people shouldn't do that. And again, if you want to complain about the character, by all means, go ahead and do it. That does not make you a bully if you're complaining about the character. But obviously, the media is going to be using that to again attack the fans, and that's the one thing that got me really upset, because it's really not fair. We all know that this is just a small group of people that are just doing this kind of, saying whatever they're saying there. It's not the majority of people. I never seen a video online with a substantial amount of viewers of someone actually saying that hate her because she's Asian, because whatever. I have never seen that. People actually complain because the character didn't make much sense, and that's all. Now, are we allowed to not like a character? Like, we have to like the character? If we don't, we're racist? So yes, of course everything is taken out of context for the media, because that's how they sell, right? That's how they're gonna get clicks anyway. So you cannot believe the media nowadays. And that's why I like YouTube so much, because we can always come here and express ourselves, and we can talk, we can be honest, and we can say our real views and what we really think about all of this. So yes, the companies definitely could interfere, but we are never gonna know if this came from Lucasfilm. We're never gonna know if, you know, this is really coming from her trying to say, yes, she did suffer backlash. We don't know. All we know is that in her essay, she does say that she's kind of been bullied her entire life, and that's hard, you know. I was bullied on high school a lot, you know, people to say that I was too skinny and make fun of me, like everyone else. But in some people, it has a worse effect than others, you know. Like, some people, they get really messed up with these kind of things, and I don't think we should be judgmental. It's not our place. But yeah, we still have the right to not like the character, because I'm sorry, I don't like Rose Tico as a character, okay? I think the character was poorly written, and yeah, no one is gonna make my mind on that. Okay, favorite Jackie Chan movie, any genre. Oh, I love Jackie Chan. I think he's a lot of fun. But I think one of my favorites are the one, what is it called, with Chris Tucker? Those are really fun. Jackie Chan. I'm terrible remembering names of movies today. Let me see. I think it's Rush Hour. Oh yeah, Rush Hour. I love Rush Hour. I thought that movie was hilarious. What else do I like? Let me see of all the, I've seen so many Jackie Chan films. I also like his really old stuff, like the first ones that he did. Have you guys seen that? I thought those were a lot of fun. Some of them are even subtitles, you know, like Chinese subtitles. I saw them. Really think Jackie Chan is hilarious. He's awesome. But yeah, I probably think one of my favorites, Rush Hour. Okay, new movie called Badass Angels is how Ray should have been. I've never heard of this film. Let me write down because I want to check it out. Badass Angels. It's a new movie, yeah? So I'll check this out. Thanks. Thanks, Albert. Will you show us your souls? I don't know what you mean. What is that? Can't wait to Ahsoka again. You mean to see Ahsoka again? Yes, on the Clone Wars. That would be awesome. I think Ahsoka is such a great character. At first I thought she was a bit annoying, but I think I was a bit annoyed because she wasn't in the prequels, in the films. So I was like, where is this character from, you know? But I understand why they would bring it on the Clone Wars, and I think it's really cool because it really adds more to the fact of why Anakin would slowly losing faith on the Jedi, you know, because when, you know, if you guys seen the Clone Wars, when she got expelled, it's one of the saddest episodes, and I was like, oh man, I could totally feel Anakin's pain there, because it was kind of unfair, you know, and the Jedi were so like, sometimes their views were so like this, like horses, you know, they seem to be so wise, but at the same time, come on, give the girl a chance, you know, she's a great person. So I think that's why I love Star Wars so much, and that's why I love talking about it, because everything just made sense. Even the fact that the Jedi had to be destroyed because they were being so, you know, they always thought they were so right on everything, and Palpatine was manipulating them underneath their noses, and none of them noticed. So that's why I think Star Wars, it's really kind of incredible, and I love Anakin's story. I love when he becomes Vader, and I've always had a very, I've never really, I know that he's just this crazy, terrifying villain. He is, you know, sometimes I thought this man is really scary, but at the same time, I've always have a lot of like, sadness, because he's the ultimate tragic character, you know, like all he did, he was trying to save someone, and he just went the other way and lost everything that he was trying to protect. So yes, definitely I definitely think that he's an incredible character. Okay, sorry guys, I had to remove someone over here because it's being a little bit nasty. So you're out. Okay. Albert said, I used Jackie Chan's stunt team on Spitfire, which I shot in Hong Kong. Oh my God, really? So are you still like making movies and things like that? That is really cool. I think Jackie Chan is so fun, you know. It's all because my dad got me in all these things. Okay, Lady Yuna said, I like the deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith that show the formation of a rebel alliance. I can't remember the deleted scene. I have the Blu-ray, so I should go back and watch it again, because I don't remember that. I should watch it again because I completely blank right here. Pastor, hi, my dad is online. Oi pai, tudo bem? My dad is online. Okay, so someone asked me a question, what sorts of sci-fi and fantasy movies are popular in Brazil? Brazil, it's a lot of the American culture is, as far as movie goes, it's very popular in Brazil. So sci-fi, that is very popular. Star Wars is hugely popular in Brazil. It's big down there. Matrix, it's big. Terminator, pretty much everything that is kind of big in here as a sci-fi is big down there too. That's how I got into films, you know. when I was young, very young, I've always watched all these awesome, you know, 80s film. I think 80s are the best time for filmmaking, in my opinion. You know, that's where Spielberg got his best work out. You know, yes. So yeah. So great to run into you tonight. I have seen most of your stuff. I will be checking out your newer stuff. Thanks so much, Daffy. Very cool to have you here. Thanks for all of you guys in the support. Horatio said, is it true that Marvel bought the rights to El Chapo in Colorado? Is it? If you guys don't know, El Chapo in Colorado is a huge Mexican show that it was big in Brazil. It still is big to this day. Well, if they did that, I don't know. That would be very interesting. I'll check on that. I would like to know. I don't know, so I won't give you the right answer because honestly, this is the first time I'm hearing that. Okay, Team Raven said, are there any good actors or actresses from Brazil? Yes, there's some famous actors from Brazil. One of them, it's called Rodrigo Santoro. He's actually, see how, can you hear the noise? That's New York, guys. New York is very noisy. Anyways, this guy is very, very famous. He's been on 300, and right now he's on this TV series on HBO. What's the other big TV show? It's not Game of Thrones, the other one. Something with the cowboys. Come on, help me out, guys. I forgot about it. What is the name? Oh gosh, I forgot about this HBO show. Westworld, yes, thanks so much. He's on Westworld, very famous actor, and he's been in a bunch of films over here. There's also, I don't know if you guys are gonna know this, but there's a big TV series over here called Narco. Have you heard of Narco? Let me know if you guys have. So the main actor for Narcos, he's a Brazilian actor. He's very famous down in Brazil. And I forgot the name of his character. For some reason, I'm like blank today. I don't know what's up with me. Maybe I haven't eaten today. But yes, he's very famous as well. So we do have a bunch of famous actors. There's a famous actress as well that she's been in a couple of like big films over here. But I can't, her name kind of skipped my mind. Alex said, are you a fan of Star Trek? I'm not big in Star Trek. I did watch Star Trek, but I cannot tell you I can have a big discussion on Star Trek because I don't know a lot about it. I don't know why. I've always got more into Star Wars, and I watch Star Trek here and there, but I cannot say that I'm a huge fan. You know, I watch them, I find them entertainment, but yes, and that's it. What else are you guys saying? Did you like Top Gun? Do you have high hopes for part 2? Yes, of course. Top Gun is another classic. I think it's a great film. Enjoy very much. I think that, Tom Cruise will be back, right? And Tom Cruise is kind of a beast when it comes to like stunts and doing great action films. So because if he is involved, I read that he's involved, definitely. Because he will be involved, I think it should be a great film. You know, I don't know if you guys, have you guys seen the last Mission Impossible Fallout? It's definitely worth checking out. It's one of the best action films I've seen this year. Definitely worth the money. Enjoy the movie very much. Shining Star said, enjoy your reviews and glad you came on live. Look forward to the next review. Have a great night. Oh, thanks so much, Shining Star. I'm happy that you are enjoying my reviews as well. I love making movie reviews and, you know, and reviews in general. Okay, Unicyclopean. Sorry, I'm pronouncing this wrong. Did you ever watch Farscape? It was a crazy, in a good way, sci-fi show from the late 90s. No, I have not. I have not. But I should check it out, right? I'll check it out. Bradley Fortner saying Cruz is an amazing actor. He's a strange dude, no doubt. Oh yeah, he's taking his personal life out of the picture because that doesn't matter, right? But as far as a professional, he's a very professional actor, and that's why the stuff that he does, it's usually very successful, and I think he deserves that. He really puts a lot of work, but in real life, yeah, total weirdo. But he has some killer flicks. I definitely agree. Tim Raven said, do you like when athletes cross over to movies like Ronda Rousey? I don't mind. I mean, as long as the character makes sense, and we know the Rock kind of did that, right? So and now he's becoming a huge celebrity, Hollywood celebrity. So yeah, no, I don't mind. It's fine, as long as it makes sense, you know. And I think she's a great fighter. What movie did I see her? I think it was Fast and Furious, the last one I saw her. Did she make another movie? I think the last one was Fast and Furious, if I'm not mistaken. Morena Baccarin is the actress you're thinking of. Yes, she's Brazilian, and she's very famous. She's in Gotham, you know, the show, and she's in Deadpool. Thanks so much. That's so true. She's a great actress, really like, and lovely. I actually met her, I think it was on a red carpet a while ago. I do some photo as well, you can see some of my accreditation there. I do photojournalism, sometimes I do videos, so I run into a lot of celebrities, and she's very polite, she's very nice, yes, so she's cool. Lady Eunice said, it features Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, Padme, and other senators discussing signing a petition to remove Palpatine from... Oh yes, I remember, you're talking about the scene from Revenge of the Sith, yes. I remember seeing that now, thanks for reminding me. Okay, yes, I did see that. That's, you know, I think I understand. I was watching a documentary with... George Lucas, and he explains why exactly he removed the scene. I think he thought it would make the movie drag a little bit, but yeah, I really enjoy those films. Horatio said, the 80s were the best time for movies and music. Yes, I agree. And do you know why? Because I think that there was no this worry about politics and being so correct. You know, they just made movies and they were fun. Nowadays, it's very hard to find a movie that is actually fun. You know, they're just making messes and like getting these movies that were great and rebooting. You know, because obviously they don't have enough creativity to come up with a great film. You know, they always have to reboot the old, rehash what is old, and pretty much destroy everything. Pai manda beijo. Beijo pra todo mundo aí. Okay, my dad is still in the chat. Jerry Cathcart said, have you seen Hereditary? I can't say the word. Hereditary. Why can't I say it? That's frustrating. But yes, I have not seen it yet. And I will tell you a secret. I am a bit scared of horror films. I try my best to... I mean, I watch them, but that one sounded a bit scary. And I heard it's very good, but I still did not build the courage to go see it. But yeah, eventually I'll see it. If you guys want a review, I'll put a review out there. But no, I haven't seen it yet. Patrick saying, are you a fan of horror films? Yes, I like horror films. I like mostly the 80s horror films. You know, my favorites, I like Jason Voorhees, you know, Michael Myers. I love those stuff. I think they were a lot of fun. But yes, there's some level of horror films that I like. Some of them I find a little bit too scary. So yeah, I think my favorite genre of film is actually action films. Let's see, what else are you guys saying here? Oh, the Goonies and Gremlins were awesome. I agree. Goonies and Gremlins were great. Enjoyed that a lot. They were a lot of fun. Hi everyone that's coming in right now. Thanks for joining in. Okay, someone asked me, Who's out since the main actor kind of old now? Yes, I don't know. Oh, you're talking to somebody else, so I don't know what he's saying here. I got lost. Edge of Tomorrow 2 coming, I think. Expendable 3. Oh, Expendable 3 was in. Yes, Rhonda was on that film. That's true. She's been in a couple of films. What else do you guys say? Mark Hamill was involved in The Last Jedi, but we all know that turned out. Just saying. Yes, that's true. That is true. I mean, The Last Jedi is really, really kind of a low point of Star Wars, in my opinion, you know. Okay, let me go back and try to catch some of your questions over here. Someone said, I love samba. I love samba dancing. We have a Brazilian community here in Mississippi. I wish I could do all the fun footwork. I can only do salsa and bachata. That's really cool, you know. I think salsa is kind of hard as well. I think samba for me is not hard because ever since I was a kid, one of the kids play in Brazil, it's always to kind of like try to learn the samba. So a lot of people know, but not everyone. But yeah, I'd say it's a hard dance. Definitely a hard dance. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let me go down. Oh, my brother is there. Hi, Rafe. Hello, how are you? Okay, some flipped out ask, can time travel in Star Wars work? Can time travel work? I think everything that is well made can work. Obviously, it's a way to change a lot of things, and the only thing that makes me worried with time travel is to go back and change something like this. We don't want to change anything from the originals because they're so well made and so well done. So it could work if they would go back in time to kind of fix short-term things, but not if they would like to go back and redo things from the originals, for instance. Then I just think that there are things that are very nicely made, you know, people shouldn't touch it, you know. So it could work, yes, if it's done well and if it's done respectfully and if it's not only used as a cheap way to get rid of things or get rid of characters or fix mistakes, for instance. Right now, time travel would probably be the best way to fix The Last Jedi. That's another way I haven't even thought about it, right? So I'd say that yes, it could work if it's done well. I know time travel was introduced in Rebels, but I haven't finished Rebels yet. So when I get there, I'll have a better idea of how I think about it. But again, just if you're going to go back and change stuff from the originals and the prequels, probably, I don't think so. You shouldn't really do that, you know. Okay, what else are you guys saying? Marlon Brando or James Dean? Marlon Brando or James Dean? Maybe I would go with Marlon Brando because I've seen more Marlon Brando films than I have James Dean. That's why. So, okay. How did you and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers discover each other? Jeremy is a very generous person, you know. If you have been following his channel, you know he's always doing shout outs for smaller channels or YouTubers, you know, or videos that he came across and that he thinks that people are, you know, have common sense. So basically he told me that my videos were popping up on his I know how YouTube suggests videos, and he saw a couple of my videos, and then on one of his live streams, I think a month ago, he gave me a shout out, and it was a complete surprise for me because I've been watching Geeks and Gamer for a long time, especially when I started the whole thing with the Star Wars. It's kind of that healing process. They're always watching other people's opinions. So I've always watched his channel, and when I found out that he gave a shout out on a live stream, I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. And then he sent me a message, said, love to have you on the channel sometime. And then that's pretty much how. And then we talked on Twitter actually. And he asked, let's do a live stream. And so that's it. That's how we ran into each other. Brandon said, Flip, I think time travel is just lazy way to fix a problem. What do you think? Yes, this is kind of what I said, right? Obviously, it's because time travel is the easy way out. Think about it. If they do something that goes wrong, all they can do is just go back in time and fix it. So, yes, so time travel is something that is worrying, you know, especially because it has never been a part of Star Wars. It's not Back to the Future, for instance, okay? In this franchise, we are expecting that because it's about that, not in Star Wars. And especially with the stuff that they do nowadays, yes, I understand that it could be worrying. However, time travel would be a great way to fix the mess that was The Last Jedi. Jedi Cowboy said, The Last Jedi killed my imagination and now Star Wars is all but dead to me. I know, that's what he said. You know, I wish it wouldn't be like that. For me, I don't see that it's still dead because I still go back and watch my originals. I still go back and watch the prequels. Just a couple of days ago, I was bawling watching Revenge of the Sith. I don't know why. When Anakin's falling to the dark side, it always really gets me. I'm always so upset. I was like, oh, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? So I think those movies are precious to me and they're not going to take that away. Don't think I really consider the new stuff canon, but I have hopes that the new Star Wars, again, I have hopes, I don't know, that they will fix the next episode, but is that even possible? That's what we were mentioning earlier today as well. Okay, what else are you guys saying? Oh no, not another Star Trek reboot. Oh yeah, there's a reboot coming, right? They already did a reboot and some people are now very happy with it. Okay. One moment, guys. We have someone here just being a bit weirdo in the comments. Okay. So, let's see what else you guys saying. I go back to that empty Star Wars destroyer on Jakku and make Rey fall down and die. I think that they completely destroy Rey, unfortunately. You know, the way that they picture her is just terrible. Sauron Merciful said, Back to the Future reboot. No, absolutely not. Please, don't touch what is good. Please don't. You know, don't. I agree. No. Brandon said, great, I agree as well. So far, would you go back to? How far would you go back to? Are we still talking about time travel? Well, I would only go back to the events of The Last Jedi because, I don't know, I just don't buy the way they gave me Luke Skywalker, and I won't. It's not gonna change. That's not Luke Skywalker for me, okay? The execution of that character was terrible. So yes, if they could use time travel to delete those events, I'm on board, okay? However, yes, it's very worried that they're introducing time travel because it's an easy way out to fix things, you know, or even again, go back and try to redo the stuff or remake things from the past that happened with Leia, Han, Luke, and things like that. Kinky Pinky said, do you like James Bond? If so, which are your favorites? I have never been very big into the James Bond franchise, which is weird because this is one of the things my dad loves, James Bond, and I've always loved everything my dad loved. But for some reason, I never really cared about the character much. I thought he's cool. There's some cool action scenes here and that. Great films, for sure. But I cannot say that I am a fan, you know. I enjoy the films. I think one of the latest ones, was it called Fallout as well? No, I can't remember what is it called. With Daniel Craig. I thought it was a really good film. I enjoyed that. But I think I used to see the old, my dad used to watch the old James Bonds with Sean Connery. It's Sean Connery, right? And I enjoyed those a lot. There was one in particular with the guy with the golden teeth and real, and I thought that movie was fun. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? I've seen that when I was very little. I saw that movie and I enjoyed it. Bradley said, I'd go back to that empty Star Wars destroyer. Okay, I already read that. Oops. Duff said, I got to go to bed. Good night. God bless. I'll be trying to keep up with your videos. Thanks so much and have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. My dream is for Dave Filoni to become, X-Winger said, my dream is for Dave Filoni to become Lucasfilm president, and at the reveal for him to drop a copy of The Last Jedi in the trash and write a new canon script for 8 for JJ to direct. Bravo. I'm with you on that one. Although I do believe that him becoming president, it's something that could happen. But the fact that really deleting The Last Jedi from canon, I don't know if they would go to that extent, you know. I really don't. Again, just if they use time travel to fix that, perhaps yes, but completely taking out, like completely deleting canon from canon, I don't think that would, I don't think they would do that, because by doing that, they would pretty much kind of be accepting that they made a terrible mistake. And that's what so far we haven't heard from Disney, right? We have not heard anyone saying anything about the backlash or there was problems. So far they're just going around that and pretending none of that exists. So yes, I think Dave Filoni is a very talented guy. You know, he did a great job with the Clone Wars, and he was working very closely with George Lucas. And it's great that he is a person that really understands the lore, because that's my biggest complaint. It feels like, not it feels like, the truth is that Kathleen Kennedy does not care about the mythology of Star Wars, you know, that's the problem. And because she doesn't care, she's trying to change into something that the movie never was. And she just destroyed, might as well just say that she pretty much destroyed this new trilogy, right? Because a lot of people were on board with The Force Awakens. Okay, what else are you guys saying here? Nicole Noodle said, unless time travel can be used to not hire Rian Johnson, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so you don't think time travel would fix it? Yeah, you have a point right there, right? Rian Johnson is such a stuck-up, arrogant guy, you know, and you know, I can't stand even his voice. I can't stand the fella, you know, I can't. I just think that he's not a very, I don't know, have no words to describe that man. Sauron said, just bring the Knights of Ren to join Kylo and I'll be happy with episode 9. The Knights of Ren, I have a video talking about the Knights of Ren. And on that video, I discuss a article specifically that Rian Johnson say why he didn't bring the Knights of Ren into the new trilogy, and you'll be very surprised. So you should check that out. Okay, Alex said Anakin was weird in the prequels. Yeah, a lot of people do not like Hayden's performance. I don't really blame him. I blame mostly George Lucas. I think George Lucas is the genius behind it all. We all know that. But I think he's a better producer than he is a director. I think that he should have gotten a different director to you know, direct the films, and the films would have been way better. Because, you know, I think the dialogue he wrote is just kind of like wooden and things. So I think it's more to do with the director than it is with the actors. But yeah, even though a lot of people think he was weird, I liked him. I can't help it. I love Anakin Skywalker. I love Darth Vader. I love the Skywalkers. So, Flipped Out said, I'd like them to bring in certain characters from time travel episode of Rebels, a female character. Do you miss the use of the Jedi and the Sith? Of course. The fun thing about Star Wars is lightsaber fights. You know, that's what I want to see. And without the Jedi and Sith, we barely have cool lightsaber fights because all these people are not even trained, you know. The one person that is trained was Luke Skywalker, and even Kylo Ren. They were not even able to give us that, you know. Not even that they were able to give us. So definitely I miss that. I miss the good old times, you know, for sure. Da, da, da. Tiban said, greetings for Costa Rica. Costa Rica, hooray. Thanks for joining the chat. Alex said his relationship with Padme in the prequel was pure cringe. Oh yeah, that's a lot to do with the dialogue, right? Yeah, I agree with you. Someone said, sorry, I gotta go. Do more chats, Viv. My notification are on. See ya. Okay, cool, thanks. Team Raven said Obi-Wan movie got canceled. Yeah, I think right now they're not really saying it got canceled. It just never got even approved at all. You know, there was never a headline directly from Lucasfilm that said we are going to make an Obi-Wan film. So if there's no headline, there's no way. It's not that it was canceled. It was just never. I think they never really got it. I don't know. I mean, this is another thing, right? They know what the fans want. The fans would have rather seen an Obi-Wan film than they would have rather seen a Solo film. But instead of giving what the fans have been asking for, they go ahead and make Solo, and Solo is a flop. But again, obviously we know that Solo flopped. It could have been for other reasons as well. The biggest reason being The Last Jedi, right? Okay. Yes, Live and Let Die had a great soundtrack. Also, The Spy Who Loved Me. Yes, true. Bradley said, McGregor said they never even approached him. That's true. I've seen many interviews with him where he said, no one has approached him yet, and which is weird, right? Why just do it what the fans are asking, for crying out loud, right? Nobody can rock Back to the Future t-shirt like Vivi. Like Viv, thanks so much. And Lady Eunice say, I've seen the outtakes where Anakin's line delivery was fine, but George corrects him and makes him say it differently and sound awkward. So see, that goes back to my point that the prequels would have been way better if George would have focused on being the producer like he did for most of the originals. I think in the originals he only directed the first one. He works better as a producer and as like the creator, you know, like you know. So I think that if he had done the same thing, the prequels would have been much better. And I agree with you. I think that a lot of the stuff with Hayden is George's fault, you know. It's long overdue. Give what the people want. Just saying. Yes, the Obi-Wan is one that lots of us would have loved to see. So true. Sauron said, is there any way Snoke could come back alive? Could he have mastered death? Well, that go back to the question, is he really Darth Plagueis? Because if he were to be Darth Plagueis, then yes, he could definitely come back. And if you go back, I mean, I haven't seen The Last Jedi. I've only saw it once in the theaters. And the second cut that I saw, it was a follower of mine that has been doing, he did a cut of the film. And he asked me, can you watch this and see, give me your feedback. And I did watch that, and I thought it was a little less cringy. But those are the only 2 times I saw the movie. So I can't really say, but if he were to be Darth Plagueis, then it would be a chance for him to be back. Or they would have to come up with a very good explanation of why he is back. Because the way, to this day, I cannot believe that he would allow Kylo Ren to kill him in such a stupid way like that. Like, how could he not notice that the lightsaber was turning to him? So, I don't know, was that all a big master plan and it's all going to be revealed on the 9? Or is he really dead, you know? So, yeah. Raphael, why is the image inverted? It's because I am streaming from my phone. So I don't have a webcam yet. So usually I do the streams from my phone because it has a better quality. Usually when I do it from my computer, it I don't like the image quality. So I think that the phone, it's, even though it's inverted, the quality is better. Alex said, we have Kathleen Kennedy as a producer now. Exactly, and that's what we got, right? Marco Aurélio, parabéns pela live com Jeremy. Thank you. Obi-Wan, Darth Plague is not human. Was yes, I mean, again, but we still don't know who Snoke was, right? Who is he? Who's that guy? We don't know anything about him. So yeah, he could be, right? Okay, I do want an Obi-Wan movie, but not until Lucasfilm has some new people in charge. The current crew would just mess it up. You know, in taking the direction of the latest film, you were absolutely right. Even though I like to think positive, even though I like to think that Star Wars will go forward, even though that I think it can be rescued, with the people that are in charge, it's kind of hard, right? Not long ago, they were making fun of the fans on Twitter, calling fanboy steers, right? Or racist people, or blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait and see. Soon enough, you know, I know they will stop. They will be shooting. They will be filming up into February. And I'm pretty sure they will be releasing photos, perhaps, you know, when we get a trailer, perhaps we will be able to kind of have an idea or a sense of what direction they are going. Adios. Okay, Brenda, adios. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining here. Team Raven said, are you excited for new Hellboy movie? I don't know if watched the old movie. I did see the old Hellboy. I thought it was cool. And yes, definitely excited. Isn't that Dave Harbour playing the Hellboy? You know, the guy that plays Hopper on Stranger Things. And I'm obsessed with Stranger Things. I think it's one of the best shows. One of my favorite shows on Netflix right now, and I think he's the one playing Hellboy, and I think he'll do great. So yes, definitely excited for that. I'm excited for a lot of things. I'm excited for Terminator, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they won't mess it up. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that that photo does not really it's not really what the movie will be, okay? It's just a photo. That's how I'm thinking right now. So I love these movies very much. I want them to do great. Snoke is Kyle from the future. Oh my God, can you imagine? We should have known when Disney got rid of the EU that the world there will be problems, but we all have hope. Okay, I think that's what you mean. Yes, I agree. We should have known, right? We should have known, but it's that thing. We always want. I don't know. It's just. Do you think, guys, I have a question for you. Do you think George Lucas regret selling Star Wars after what it has become? Do you think that he regrets it? This is something that I wonder often. Are you going to see episode 9? And if so, will you see opening weekend? If it's going to be, I'm definitely going to see it because I mean, I have to see it. Because a lot of people, even on my channel, has specifically been saying we are going to be waiting for my review and my thoughts. So yes, I definitely will be seeing. Lately, I have been getting invitations for movies prior to when they are released. I don't know how my channel will be doing until that time. So who knows if I don't know if I'm going to go and see it opening weekend, but I definitely will see it because I feel like I have a responsibility to see it and tell you guys what I think about it, you know, if it's good, for the good or for the bad, the bad, you know. Jared said, Stranger Things is awesome. I agree with you. I love that show. I think it's incredible. I can't wait to see. Season 3 is being filming right now. Did you guys know? They're in production right now. So technically, they think that the new season will be ready next summer. Hopefully sooner, but I know that I have to work on the visual effects, so yeah. Sauron said there's a rumor Rey will have a dual lightsaber on episode 9 and will use the blue kyber crystal from Anakin Skywalker lightsaber. Sounds cool. I mean, right now the lightsaber is broken, right? So she needs to build a new one. Will she able to do it? Because that's the final training of a Jedi. But last I heard, she was not a Jedi. That's what Rian Johnson said. But I think Rian Johnson knows nothing about the trilogy anyway. So yeah, that would be very cool. I mean, I wish that they redeem Rey. I wish they redeem all the characters because, yeah, whatever. Okay, so what's your favorite Back to the Future? I have to go with the first one. I think the first one is my favorite because it's where the magic began. So I love the first one, but I like them too. I like the second one a lot as well. I think that my least favorite would be the one on the Wild West. Is that the second or the third one? Yeah, but I think the first one is definitely my favorite. Yep, saw you in Geeks and Gamers, fell in love and here. Thanks so much, hey everyone from Geeks and Gamers. Thanks so much for supporting me. Hopefully we'll have lots of fun here as well. Green is from Luke. Yes, true. Why wasn't Luke with his green lightsaber? Even that's so stupid in that movie. Right? Okay, love the shirt, by the way. Third best trilogy I ever made. Which Back to the Future is best? Yeah, that's the one I already just said, right? I think I like the first one the best. But as a whole, I like the entire trilogy, you know. Love those films. Love it. Bradley said, a double-sided blue lightsaber isn't going to be enough to make me want to see it. Yeah, a lot of you guys are still not happy. Raphael said, what do you know about Captain Marvel? Do you have news about these films? Right now, the only thing I know about Captain Marvel, I saw her suit, and I know that the movie is in production, but that's about it because there's not a lot of things released out there, right? I think it's going to be very interesting to see. She's supposed to be the strongest character, the strongest Marvel character, right? So how are they going to make the strongest Marvel character appear just now? Because we all know Marvel has been establishing these films for so many years, but we never heard from her. So they are going to be very smart to tell us where has she been throughout all these years. You know, what happened to her, you know, and yeah, so I'm super excited about that, but that's pretty much the kind of news that I have. Freddie said, this is his baby and he had a story to tell, so I imagine so. Oh yeah, so you guys are saying that this is the question I asked earlier about George Lucas, right? 4 billion, I don't think he regrets it at all. You don't think so? I mean, I don't know. I have my doubts. I think he does because I saw his interview later. He doesn't really seem very happy with the direction. But I think I understand the reason he sold it. He said it, I'm getting old and if the Star Wars is supposed to go forward, I need to give it up. I need to, you know. But I don't think he expected that they were going to mistreat the original characters the way that they did, you know. I would love to hear his opinion on Leia floating on space. Funny, we never heard him saying that, right? I would love to sit down with George Lucas and ask him, what do you think about what they did to the characters, Luke and Leia specifically? Because I would love to hear from him. And I know, I have a sense he's not happy with it because the only thing I heard him saying from The Last Jedi is, was it beautifully made? Something like that. And that's about it. Because again, we all know the aesthetics of the film is beautiful. I can't not say that it's not. The visual effects are incredible. It's probably one of the best. But visual effects, it's not everything in a movie, right? If it lacks on the story and if it lacks on character, I mean, who cares? I'd rather have worse visual effects and have a better, you know, establish characters and story. Okay, Lucas doesn't care, he's back anyway. Yes, there is a rumor. I made a video that there was a rumor he's involved in the new episode. There is a rumor that he's working with JJ, and this time they're actually listening to him, because I think that they know what happened. You know, they just don't want to address it, but they know. How old is Rey supposed to be in the new trilogy? Old enough to be Force Broom Kid's mom, single mom subversion. How old is she? Isn't she supposed to be like 19? I think she's supposed to be 19, right? And there are the whole Reylo things. I mean, so many things that doesn't make sense in that movie, you know. How could a woman fall in love with a guy that you just saw murdering his own father? How does that make any sense on someone's mind? It's still beyond me, okay? Still beyond me. She watched him murder, Kylo Ren murder his dad in cold blood, and yet she falls for him, and very quickly, because we all know the Last Jedi happens right after The Force Awakens, so it's not like years have passed. Nonsense, a bunch of nonsense. Captain Marvel is going to be a feminist hot mess. Do you think so? We'll see. We'll see very soon. When is this movie supposed to come out? Very soon, right? X-Winger said, but when Rey seeks out Luke for training and takes him to the ground, big no. Thanks a lot, Ron Johnson. Yes. By the way, I made a video about that. Do you know that they came out with a comic book, right? Where they explain why on that one-on-one fight, Luke lost. And do you know why? They blamed it on the rain. They said that Luke Skywalker slipped, and because he slipped, Rey was able to kind of win the fight. I have a video on it, and I showed the comic book over there. Go check it out. Absurd. Seriously, you're gonna tell me the Master Luke Skywalker could not just like throw her away with the Force? It's nonsense. That movie is a bunch of nonsense. The only people who want Reylo are the people who thought 50 Shades of Grey was a good story. Perhaps. You're so right. You know, people are sick. You know, people are sick. Because seriously, who would fall in love with Kylo Ren, you know? Especially seeing him murdering his own dad like that, you know? I would be shocked. I would want nothing to do with that guy, you know? Although the one thing I really like about is the actor. I think Adam Driver is a phenomenal actor. I love watching his performance, and I think they are not giving him much. If they gave him more to work with, he would be an incredible character, because he's a very he's a great actor, and that's what I have to say. Sarah said, I don't think Rey's parents are nobodies. Will change the story arc, I think. JJ will change. Perhaps. I think JJ might change, because I don't know how people will react if the Skywalkers are really no more. But we don't know, right? I mean, the only Skywalker left right now is Kylo Ren, who is completely evil. And if Rey has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, if they kill off Kylo Ren, is that the end of the Skywalkers? Could you see a Star Wars movie without the Skywalkers? Not sure, guys. Someone is saying the Skywalker, Rey's pregnant. How would she be pregnant? I mean, everything is possible, right? There's a voice whispering to Rey in The Last Jedi that she's Luke's niece. I did see that. You're right. Someone posted, right? There was a YouTube channel that posted this and was talking something about that. And I did check it out, and I did hear it. But can that be possible? Because if she is, it's going to be very weird, because that means that she... And then she was in love with Kylo. I mean, ew, it's just, it's weird, guys. Very weird. If they announce Reylo, I'm boycotting the movie. I don't think they will. Do you think they will? Any chance Rey is Luke's granddaughter? Could be. Could be. It could be his daughter, right? That could be too. I don't know. I just hope they don't kill off the Skywalkers. Viv, how are you tonight? I am great. Thank you so much for joining. My favorite character is Darth Jar Jar. Wouldn't that be great? Love the shirt. Thank you. Thanks everyone joining right now. We've been talking we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Kelly Marie Tran. We talked about the trailers. We've been talking about Star Wars. We talked about Terminator. So right now I'm just going with the flow, talking to whatever you guys want me to discuss. OG Crusader said, also perhaps he's trying involved. Perhaps he's trying involved because Star Wars was his baby and his legacy. To see something so beloved, something that bound fans together, turn into this much be too much for the same parent. Okay, so you're talking about George Lucas here. Yes, I agree with you. I do think that he has some regrets. I do think that he wished to be at least in charge a little bit. I don't know, guys. I just I had my fears when we heard that when Disney bought Star Wars. I had my fears, but I never in my life thought that it would get this bad, you know? Never. Continuity errors and conflicting characters' motivations because the story group bad writing. Correct. Thank you for donating 1,000 to Scam United Corporation. What is that? We have some hang on, guys. Okay, what else? Kylo acts like a spoiled 10-year-old. I know, because that's how they write the character. Such an incredible character. Give him more depth, you know. Give him a story arc that makes sense, you know. I mean, and they want us to buy that this guy is supposed to be new Vader. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No one. I don't think there'll ever be another villain as good as Vader, you know, or as complex as Vader, because Kylo Ren, I'm sorry, it was just, no. Okay, it was Reviews for You. Reviews for You talked about the Rey being Luke's niece, right? X-Winger said they must put Kylo mask back on. They killed the whole big bad villain thing. I know, right? The mask was so cool. Why did they have to do that? So stupid. Okay, Reylo happens. It will make her the weakest female character in cinematic history. You know, if Reylo happens, I agree with you. And it's not because I'm against love, you know. One of my favorite things about the originals is the relationship of Leia and Han, because it was really fun to watch those two. You know, they're always bickering at each other, and at the same time you could tell that they complement each other. That was nice, sweet, and cool, okay? And it was nothing like Rey and Kylo, you know, like those two is just, especially after the fact that she saw him murdering his own dad. It's kind of a sick idea if you think about it, you know? And that's the only reason why I might have a problem with it. It's not because she's so cold, she doesn't care about love. It's not that, it's just because it would be very weird for her to fall for this guy. It doesn't make much sense because he's a murderer, you know? I don't know. I just think if I saw someone doing that in front of me, I'd probably be so scarred that I wouldn't want to be anywhere near this guy, you know? Well, they teased the Bradley said, they teased a relationship with Luke and Leia in the original, in the OT as well. That's true. But if you go and watch it, the originals, I think that Leia always had a thing for Han. Even in the New Hope, you could tell that she's always like saying, oh, he's so brave, you know, when he walks away. And there was I always felt that kind of sexual tension between the two. And I felt that with Luke was more of like a sweet bond. And we all know, or if you don't know, when by the second movie, George Lucas was still not, I think they have not completely decided if she was going to be with Han or with Luke, but then they decided. And that whole scene with the kiss, for instance, we know that that was not because she had a thing for Luke. That was purely to get back at Han for making fun of him and making fun of her and say that, oh, you're into me. You know how he is, like, you like me, and she was like, no, I don't. And then she basically just used Luke to say you're wrong. So that's why I think that situation is a little bit, you can forgive a little bit, because they didn't know they were brother and sisters at the time. I think they weren't sure if they were going to go with that. And at the same time, I believe that she always had more of attention with Han than she had with Luke. With Luke was more of like a sweet bond, you know, something that is more like a brother would have with a sister, apart from the kiss, of course. Nico Noodle said, will you be reviewing Rian Johnson Alien Sea Cow Origin Story trilogy when it comes out? Oh, please, it's not gonna come out. It's not. I don't think this trilogy is gonna go forward. I honestly don't. I think if they, I don't know, but eventually if it does come out, I guess I will review it for sure, but I don't know if I want to go and support it on the theaters unless I get to see it at premiere or something like that. Okay, if real happens, okay, let's see. The Sea Cow trilogy will be back. I know. What kind of a sick humor does that man has? What kind of a sick humor does he has? What? I just hate. Saron Merciful said, what would you think of Mara Jade appearing in episode 9? It's being mentioned a big far-fetched since it's the expanded universe. I think that right now everyone is trying to find out who is Kerry Russell playing. She hasn't really been announced officially, so we don't know. It sounds like she's kind of a surprise character. She might as well be Mara Jade, because I think that she's great as far as she's been in great action movies, you know, so we know that she would do great doing any kind of action. But maybe they would go with that strategy if they're really desperate to save the franchise, because we know the franchise has been not doing very well after The Last Jedi. So I don't know. I think that it might be her, or it might be someone that is similar to her, or no, I don't know. Also, I made a video about it a while ago, no, maybe a week ago, about Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill kind of like posted a tweet out there, and you know that Mark Hamill is always teasing the fans, and someone asked him, why do you think that Luke Skywalker never found love? And he kind of teased saying, well, you don't know exactly what happened between episode 6 and 7. So he's kind of sending hints out there, the same way that he sent hints that Luke Skywalker might not be back, the same way that he's posted saying episode 9 will be okay. So perhaps there is some truth behind it all. Perhaps Mara Jade will be back, or she will be some love interest to Luke Skywalker. I do think that they will be working with flashbacks, because, you know, the whole beard situation, that he shaved it off. So yes. Gladiator absolutely has it all. Awesome epic story. Okay. Yes, Gladiator is really cool. Kinky Pinky said, nice seeing you again. Glad Geeks and Gamer had you on. Gotta go. Okay, thanks for joining. Gladly said, I gotta go. I already have gone by time. See you, and see your channel. I'll be seeing more. Thanks so much, everyone that has to go. Thanks for joining me here. Richie said, Vader's mask was a symbol of him being part man and part machine. That's so true, right? Such a sad story. Bradley said, she definitely preferred Han, but it sets precedent for Reylo being a brother and sister. Yeah, that's true. But I believe that in The Last Jedi, first in The Force Awakens, there was a thing going on between her and Finn. But then in The Last Jedi, it was Finn and Rose, and we didn't see anything like that. And it was mostly her and Kylo Ren. And I thought that was very weird. Even with the whole t-shirt situation, if that they are really brothers, that's kind of gross, because the way, I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like with Luke and Leia, I never felt a sexual tension in the films. You know, it was always that sweet bond. But with Rey and Kylo, he was there without a shirt on, so that's kind of a little, I don't know, it's weird. Owen is asking, are you Brazilian? Yes, I am. Maybe it's Ahsoka. Oh my God. Do you think that Kerry Russell would play Ahsoka? That would be fantastic. Can you imagine? That would be a huge surprise. And I think a lot of people would be happy with that. I would be happy. I think Ahsoka is great. Piece of Trash said, when you have no knowledge of Star Wars and sit and question your own existence. The Restricted Gamer said, it's a sad day when the most interesting thing about the new movie has nothing to do with the story and it's just about new actors. I know, right? Serious question, old Star Wars Trek versus JJ Star Trek. I saw a bunch of the old Star Trek, but as I said earlier, people asked me this earlier, I've never been a massive Star Trek fan. I just watch them and enjoy them, but I'm I don't have the knowledge in Star Trek that I have with Star Wars. So to me, I don't really know. I think the old stuff has better stories, but the new one has better visual effects. So why can't they be both, right? Mad Mike is saying, the most interesting thing about the movie is an intelligent woman debating it. Thanks so much. What you think of episode 9 focus on Mara Jade? Will you think interesting story or just another SJW move? Well, I think Mara Jade, as far as we know, I'm not a big I know about the extended universe and I know about Mara Jade, and I know that she's supposed to be this awesome character, great fighter that came from the dark side, fell in love with Luke, and Luke turned her. So if we're gonna get anything close to that, then I don't want to worry about SJW stuff, okay? All I want is a good story, and all I want is them to redeem Luke Skywalker. One of the things that I thought that they could go for, it's saying that Luke Skywalker became a hermit because something really bad happened to someone he loved, and that was Mara Jade. So perhaps that could be something that they are planning. Who knows? But if she's supposed to be really cool actress, if it's something that is going to have a great arc, awesome lightsaber fights, and it's not going to be a dumb character, then I'm all for it, okay? And I'm not going to be worried about SJW stuff, and I think that by now they should know better the things that work and the things that does not work, but we shall see very soon. OG Crusader asks, which Superman is your favorite? A lot of people ask me this question. I think my favorite has to be Christopher Reeves, because that was the Superman that was introduced to me when I was a kid. And I just think that guy really represents Superman. But the new guy, Henry Cavill, I think he's great as well. I think he has the looks. I enjoy his performance very well. But yeah, I have to go with the classic Christopher Reeves. Have to. I just think that every time I look at that guy, oh, that's Superman. It's the same thing when you look at Luke Skywalker, the original. That's a Jedi, that hopeness, that he was so hopeful, he was just like that good example that everyone should aim to be like that guy, and of course they have to go ahead and ruin it. Dr. Film said, are we talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi? Because I just got here. Well, we've been talking about a bunch of things. Last Jedi, Clone Wars, Terminator, Marvel. We talked a bunch of a lot of stuff. And I'm just kind of addressing people's questions right now. I will be kind of ending this chat soon, guys, because it's been like an hour and a half now. And I was wondering why my throat is so dry. It's because I've been talking for an hour and a half. I need some water. So yes, I'm going to be here for another couple of minutes, and then I will be ending this chat. So drop your questions over there so we can head towards the end of this. Sorrow Merciful said, Ray is very lonely and wanted to belong somewhere, which is why also she hated Kylo so much, because she saw Han as a father figure and saw Kylo murdering him. Raylo sounds like love-hate relationship. Yeah, I think the Raylo thing would be very sickening, because think about this in the perspective of real life. If you really see someone murdering someone, how could you even think of falling in love with this person? Are you kidding me? That's sick. You know this person, Kylo Ren is not right in his head. There's something really wrong with him, and I think the character is great. Not the character, Adam Driver as a performer, he's great. I just really hope they give him more on the next episode and stop making him a child giving tantrum, and just like yelling, because seriously, give us something more like this, threatening and scary, and with a proper arc. Then I'll be happy. The Restrict Gamer said, thoughts on Gal Gadot's version of Wonder Woman. I have a video where I talk about my top 10 female heroes of all time. I have never been a big Wonder Woman fan, and that's because I have never really enjoyed, there was the TV show, but I think it came out in the 70s, and I've never really got around to see them. So I enjoyed the movie very much, the one that came out in 2017. I thought the character was great, and although a lot of people thought she was gonna suck, she was surprisingly good. So I enjoyed it a lot. I thought that she really brought the character to life, and because of Gal Gadot and the movie, I'm now a big Wonder Woman fan. I really I was even looking for an action figure and things like that. I was never into her until I actually saw the movie. And when I left the film, this is what I like about superhero films, and that's how I felt about Star Wars. It's something that you're like, oh my God, I want to be like her. She's so cool, and she can do all these fights. And it's the same thing with Star Wars. I would get out, and I was just immediately, I want to buy a lightsaber. I want to go do all those cool things. So yes, I think I definitely enjoyed Gal's portrayal of Wonder Woman. So yes, definitely yes for me. Richie said, your live streams are wonderful, Viv. Thanks for doing this. Oh, thank you guys for joining me. I'm having great fun talking to all of you. Thanks for the support, thanks for being around here. Really awesome. So I'm going to be reading the last comments over here, and then I'm going to be ending this soon. Dr. Film said, it's like Warner Bros. Doesn't learn from their mistakes, because this results in Justice League being so horrible and all over the place. I know, right? They did so well with Wonder Woman, and then they messed it up with Justice League. But yeah, that's a subject for another video, right? Anyways, guys, I'm all open for subjects that you would like me to cover. Make sure, leave comments on my videos, so I would be happy to address them. I'm not on YouTube full time, but I try to post as frequent as I can. Mostly because I have, I'm doing school full time. And oops, I have a live super chat. What do you hope to do with your education when you're done? Well, my biggest dream is to go work in movies. That's why I'm in America. I want to work in movies, and I want to make good movies and great films, entertaining films. But you never know in this industry. It's a very competitive industry, and unfortunately, it's all about who you know. So to get in movies, it's hard. I know that it's hard, but hopefully yes. If not, I have other options as well. I could always do shorts. I could do documentaries, or work for TV, or even, I don't know. Who knows? The possibilities are a lot. The possibilities are great. There's a lot of possibilities out there, and I really hope that, I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll be doing a new Star Wars in the future, and it will be great, and it would be awesome. But anyways, guys, I will be saying goodbye right now. I really need a glass of water right now. Thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate your support. If you came from Geeks and Gamers, you're very welcome. Thank you. drop comments below or the things that you would like me to be addressing. I'll be more than happy to make videos about it, you know, all things entertainment, TV shows. That would be great. And I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be ending this right now. Bye. Have a good night.